So hello Tianyi, super happy to have you today for this mock interview. I will be your mock interviewer today. I'm Tilly. I'm currently a PM at ServiceNow. And since I know you are also working in this domain, like B2B enterprise products, so I have exactly a business like product design like prepared for you today. Um, yeah.
And before we get started, just remind me, do we like how long do we have? Like 40 minutes or shorter?
Let's do probably like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And we can use the end of the call, probably 10 minutes, to talking about some self feedback, reflection, and Q&A.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So the question I have for you today is like supposing you are a product manager at Instacart and you are gonna to design a new feature or initiative to grow our business customers. How will you approach that?
Okay. Sounds interesting. Let me note down this question. So before I start, I have a few clarifying questions. First of all, I want to check if there's any specific goal we need to hold in mind. Like, are we meeting any challenges or are we trying to tackle like a new market or something like that?
Yeah, I don't think currently we don't have any specific limitation on this initiative. Like, but do keep in mind we want to grow our business customers. So, like for example, currently we have some so the profile like customer like a profile, probably there will be the office like a business officer of the different companies. So they need to order the different like groceries to kind of like, offering the caterings for the organization events. Or they may be the small or local like restaurants or bars. They need to order things and in order to like run their business. So currently these are two like main types of our business customer, but we are trying to because we actually just started this new like sector last year. So we this year we really want to double down on this domain and ambitiously grow our business customers.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the overview. And another question I have is that yeah, just give me a few seconds for me to gather my thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. Take your time.
Yeah, so I think my next clarifying question is that are we still focusing in the US market or also the other markets as well?
Yes, so for reference, currently Instacart is only available in the US market. So
Okay.
let's just try to, focus on the domestic market.
Okay, makes sense. And since I'm not a frequent user of Instacart, I just want to make sure that I have, my understanding is on the same page with you. So I know that it's basically for grocery shopping, but it seems like it also provides goods as like some, medicine or stuff like that. So just want to make sure I have a good understanding about like the kinds of good that is providing as of now.
Yeah, we do have a very diverse category of the business we collaborated with. So mainly you can actually if you do have the experience with the Uber Eats or DoorDash. So pretty much you can just say we have the like exactly the same collaborator on the business side, on the other, supplier side. So we have a pharmacy, we have the restaurant, we have the beauty like Sephora, we have the some like a pet store, things like that. But basically we also have some of the wholesale like Costco, Walmart, things like this.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I think this gives me a great understanding about the context here. And so I plan to um, start with, a short analysis of, what Card is doing as of now and, considering like the market it's in and also some of its competitors, so we can better understand like the goal and for the company. And then I will start to discuss about some of the personas we want to focus on. And then I will pick one of them and to further discuss about their pain points. And then I will provide some potential solutions. And then if we still have time, I can go ahead and prioritize one of that, or even like discuss about metrics. How does that sound good to you?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so I'll spend a few minutes to just think about the general analysis and the persona.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I'll start with a general analysis. So I think since Instacart is in this like local goods delivery industry, and I do think this is a kind of a mature industry already, considering there's like Uber Eats and also DoorDash, which started was delivering food and delivering those like offerings from restaurants, but I do see they are having a more diverse um like product offering, including all these items that Instacart is able to cover as well. And so I think it makes a lot of sense that Instacart want to targeting like the business customers and making sure there's more, stabilized and also commitments to, grow the business in this way. And I do want to say like considering, I think Uber Eats to me sounds like a pretty strong competitor, considering it has a lot of like connection with enterprise and all this like existing restaurants already. So I think in this way I will try to see if we can differentiate ourselves from all these existing competitors. So this is a general analysis, and next I want to discuss more about the personas we can target. So since we are saying about business customers, I have three more specific personas I have in mind. The first is about all these companies, like for example, internet companies, or like finance or consulting, all this like company who has their offices. And so basically I think they have like two type of needs. One is about like, all the stock, all this like snacks and drinks offerings that they provide to their employees in their office. So I consider those as like constant needs that they need to like refill that, pretty regularly. And on the other hand, I think a lot of the times they're holding those events, no matter it's like internally or externally. So when that happens, they will need some, supply as well. So that is the first persona. And the second one is more of like local business. So for that, I'm considering what you've mentioned earlier about like some pet store, or, like, people who are running their like business that need some supply, for example, some of the tools or some of the items they need to run for example, like to support their business. And I would imagine them to have a more diverse needs comparing to the office, like mainly around like food and snacks. And the third persona I have here is about restaurants. And I think they're mainly caring about those, food like those ingredient supplies, for example, some vegetables or fruits or everything they need to run their restaurants. So those are the three personas I have. I wanted to pause here to see if you have any questions, or if there's any specific persona you want me to focus on.
So currently I don't have too many in preference. Feel free to go ahead and select one.
Okay. So I think so give me a few seconds just to prioritize, and I'll let you know my reasoning as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to prioritize the first option around like the office or like those like bigger companies. Mainly reason is I think when the COVID is gone, now like more like employees go back to their office, and so I think there's a growing needs for you know ensure all the supplies is sufficient and is like is of good quality. So I think this is a growing opportunity for us to capture. And I think for the two others, I would imagine they have um so I would say it's like harder to tackle because like local business and restaurants, I would imagine they already have their way to, get supplies. And also I think as they are like smaller sizes, like harder to sign contract with each of them. And also to have a longer time commitment, I would say it's like I want to focus on like office or like company persona just because of the ROI is relatively high. So if that sounds good to you, I'll spend a few seconds just to brainstorm about the pain points like the company is having right as of now.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so I've listed out a few pain points here. I think the first pinpoint is definitely about like the quantity, because I think as of now, like different company has their own policy of like employee returning to office, and and also a lot of those companies are having kind of like the flexibility there. So it seems like on different days, like the supplies needed, or like even on different like weeks, it might be different. And also since there's like the flexibility of having events, then the amount of like supplies they need will be pretty different. Um, and so I think how to address like the pretty dynamic, needs and ensuring, we're bringing them the right amount and not costing them like extra money and providing them like the most, cost effective and also the goods that's covering their needs is super important. And I think the second one is around diversity, because I think like specifically for companies, um, they have the needs of like changing like from time to time, like no matter it's on like quarterly or like it's like a half year, they will have the needs to change some of the supplies and making sure it's still, catching up their needs or, capture what their employee is like looking for. So they need to have those kind of they need to understand like what are the goods they can choose from and also being able to be flexible about changing that. And I think the last thing is around being more personalized, considering the needs of hosting some events. So like for different events, I think the requirements and the targeted audience are different. So there will be, different kind of supply need that they have. So I think in order like being able to understand the purpose of that events and providing the relevant and personalized goods or supplies to the event, that will be super important. So I do want to pause here to see if anything is unclear or if there's any feedback.
Yeah, I think I'm good with all you have right now. You can just pick one or like jump into the solution if you want.
Okay, sounds good. So give me just a few seconds to pick the most important pinpoints here. I would say to me, the dynamic quality uh is pretty important, and the way to um rephrase that, I think, is like being able to capture the flexibility in the supply amount is the most important thing, because I think that is kind of a must to have, like to control the cost and being able to make sure that the supply is satisfying instead of trying to go and fulfilling the other like nice to have needs we just discussed for the point 3 and point 2. So if that sounds good to you, I'll just use a few seconds to think about how we can make sure we provide a good experience around this.
I see, I see. Are you saying, just want to clarify, are you saying you want to focus on the pinpoint around the diversity and dynamic customization?
So I would say it's more around the quality, like how do I make sure we are able to provide the right
Okay,
amount of, supplies to the company based on their needs.
okay, got you. So basically the first one.
Yeah, the first one is what I picked.
Okay.
Okay, so give me a few seconds to think about the solutions here. Okay, so I have a few ideas as of now, and I want to talk about three specifically. So the first option is about proactively tracking. So since it's like really hard to, you know, see like how many supply do they need, I'm thinking that we could provide both a software solution and also maybe with some like hardware support as well. So I think we can have a system or like some cameras to monitor, like for all the goods that we supplied, how many of them are consumed. And like maybe like on a weekly basis, we're able to know, for like all the goods we provide, how many of them are consumed. Specifically provides us of an understanding about the needs. And then I think the good thing about the system is that we're able to track like the change to see if there's like more people consuming, and then do we need to, adjust the supply we have for a certain company or not. And besides the camera, I think we can also consider some of the intelligent refrigerator to bring that into the office so that we have a good understanding when certain goods are like run out of stock. So then it provides like the data input for us to understand if the current supply is good enough, or if we can make some adjustments to make it like more cost efficient for the company. So this is the first thing. I think it's mainly around proactively managing that and getting the data to update the supply. And the second solution I have is more around uh passive, more passive on our side, because I think we can provide some like booking system or like some information system for the companies, like the business owner to use. For example, there could be some people in the office who run all these events and everything. They can just log those events about the potential number of people going to attend and also some of the requirements. And then we could anticipate those needs, like maybe early on, like for like a few weeks earlier. And then we can just receive all this needs from the single system, and then they could set up some orders for some monthly events or like some recurring months. And then we could use this system to manage all these needs and to see like, and also like we can asking for some feedback after those events, so that in this way we are collecting the information about what's needed and what's preferred for certain company. And also the good thing is that when we are serving companies in certain industry, we're able to see what are the most popular options. So in this way, it helps us to managing or supply and the business we should sign contract with as well. So the last thing I'm considering is okay, sorry, give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, sorry, just I need a few seconds to pick up my thoughts here.
No worries. Take your time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I just got it back to my mind. So I think this is more around like supply chain. So I would say I think for some of the big companies we're serving and we have a long time contract with, we can consider to like find the command like to see if there's needs to set up some like nearby factory or nearby like place to stock some of the popular like goods. For example, like take San Francisco as an example, there's certain area has a lot of like internet company, and the goods needed might be like pretty similar, like some drinks and also um some snacks that we're providing. So I would say like on the operational side, we can consider to add some of those like places for those, pretty popular goods for them to being able to refill quickly enough if there's any, any like changes in the needs or any like last minute requests. And I think with those kind of like warehouse in there, definitely there's needs to have like a software with it to see, basically help us to understand like what are those like surging needs and to see if there's any like we use that as like a temporary plan to make sure that we are trustworthy and we have the commitments to serve all these big clients. But I think at the same time, it gives us like a opportunity to like surcharge, like to charge more money the business for the business contract if they're having all this like dynamic needs. And also the software to send us feedback around what certain goods has those strong needs so we can make sure we have a good supply on those. So this is quick overview of the three solutions I have. Do you want to pause here to see if there's any questions?
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions regarding to your solutions. So for the first proactive like tracking system, so who basically who built this system? Are you saying our supplier, let's see, Costco built this system, or our customer built this system, or as like the middleman, Instacart will build this system?
Yeah, I would say we are the one to build this system, just mainly because we like as the people who build the system, they will have access to all this data and have access and have the ownership of all this solution. And I will consider once we're able to have this tracking system and all this hardware, this can be part of our product offering as well, and we can sell this to like any third parties who are interested in tracking and managing the dynamic needs.
I see. But um correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just a little bit confused because uh let's say you have a camera or you have any kind of like hardware. How like as an employee or operator like who work for Instacart, how will I use like basic hardware like camera to track the stuffs? Because all of the goods actually are like processed by our supplier. Let's see CVS, Walgreens, or like Costco. I don't think we have like a too much data or like control like over our like our suppliers part. So I'm
Oh,
just a little bit confused.
yeah, let me clarify a little bit on this. So when we provide all this supply, those snacks and drinks to the companies, the camera or like the refrigerator will be the ones like stay in their office. So basically imagine we have a refrigerator and in that we have all the snacks and and also all this drinks provided like we provide as the middleman, like we provide as like the people who sends the delivery. So like there could be a camera letting us know if how many certain like items has left in the refrigerator, and this will be pretty valuable because we help the company to understand like what are you know what's consumed and also like what's left. And then so this will be a like pretty valuable asset for us like to provide analysis to those like companies, and also we're able to collect this data and provide that to our supplier as well. So this will become a reason why the both sides want to collaborating with us to make sure they're able to fit the dynamic needs.
I see, I see. So you are saying that you want to put this camera in the office, basically in the company's office,
So
or in the
Yeah, I mean, so to the privacy concern, this camera won't be, facing anything outside, but it's like mainly like pointing to the camera, like pointing to the refrigerator just to see what's missing. And it doesn't have to be like specifically a camera. It can be like any sensor or anything, just being able to tell, what's left and like basically telling about the quality and the types of the snacks.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. And the same, I guess I have the same question around into the users like solutions, which is like to my understanding, it's basically a temporary inventory hubs in the cities, right? So how will you like manage? So are you saying that you want to like order in advance from all of our suppliers, let's say like a Costco to like a basically some groceries like a beverage, and you will like a store and it's like in that like as Instacart, we bought all of those stuff and then like store that in our inventory hub, and then you sell it to the customer. Is this the right like user journey you were thinking about?
Yeah, this is a good question. So I think the reason we want to have that is we're pretty new to this business, and also I would say it's the first time we're signing contract with those like business owners. So we want to make sure we are trustworthy and we're able to supply them with the things they need, so we don't break that trust. So I think that's why I'm seeing the needs that we want to have some kind of those warehouse to make sure if there's needs, we're able to fulfill that and earning the customer trust and satisfaction like right there. And concerning about how we're going to operate that, I think I do see the needs of like, for example, if it's from like Costco or other, like grocery stores, they might have some like, newly introduced goods or like some new items they want to promote. So I think we can, have like contract or negotiation between them to say, we can use this as one thing, like if you are providing more of like those popular items, we can try to help you sell it to or like office people. And then also if you have any needs to promote all this like new items, this would be a good place for the business owners to come by and to see if there anything of their interest they want to use, like maybe to any last minute events or things like that.
Got you. That's a good idea. Yeah, we do have a lot of advisors, pretty active on our platform. Um, and I think we can just like move on to the next step.
Okay, I know we have limited amount of time here. Do you want me to prioritize a solution or talk about metrics? Is there anything you want me to focus on?
Yeah, let's just like quickly prioritize all the solution you have, and just if you can give me a overarching summary of your like a holistic like a thinking process, that would be great. And then we can start to ramp up this marketing wheel, if that makes sense.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds amazing. Um, yeah, give me just a few seconds and I can get back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so I think my criteria for prioritizing all these needs will fall into like three categories. The first is about the impact, or to say like the amount of revenue, number of customers they can bring to us. And the second thing is about the cost. And the last thing is about the risk. So I think among the three solutions, I would choose the second one, the booking system or like the reservation system as the MVP here, just because I think it's great because we're collecting the business needs. And also I think it's like low hanging fruit because like the engineering costs and also like all the costs related will be relatively low comparing to, introducing new camera or new refrigerator or like, setting up like new warehouse like near the company. And I would say the risk is kind of low because we are basically, welcoming, them to provide us some, like future needs and everything. So I don't consider this exposing any needs for us as at the moment. So I think this is good for the MVP version as we are starting the business. Um, if that sounds good to you, I'll go ahead and just do a quick summary of my thinking process here. So
Okay.
at the beginning, yeah, at the beginning, we started with the general analysis about, the goods delivering industry, and it's kind of competitive, and there's few good competitors out there. So we wanna get started by thinking about differentiating ourselves from them. And then we discussed about the personas, and there's like the business, like those office or like those companies in the city. And then secondly, there's some like local business, for example, like as like the pet stores. And then thirdly, about the restaurants. And then we picked companies or like office as the main persona because of like the growing needs. And then among that, we have some discussion around pain points, and there's about like the dynamic quality they might need for the goods. And secondly, about, they want some diversity about the like supply, different kinds of snacks or drinks. And thirdly, we're talking about like personalization. How do we provide the best experience for them when they're hosting those events? And then we're considering, the first one is the hugest pain points, just because a lot of people coming back to the office, and we want to addressing the needs of being like cost effective and also, providing the right amount. And then we have solutions specifically to that. And the first one is around like proactively tracking. Second one about like a booking system for them to let us know in advance about their needs. Third thing is about like a supply chain solution to, fulfilling their like last minute needs. And in the end, we prioritize like the second one just because it's like the ROI is pretty high, it's easy to build and good for us. Like we're just starting our business day one. So yeah, that's it. So happy to see if there's questions or any feedback.
Yeah, I think overall it's great. And we can end it here. And we can just start to do some starting from some self feedback. And I can
Okay.
give you some of my opinion if that
Okay.
works.
Yeah, sounds good. Do we want to do it in English still or?
Yeah, let's say English.
Okay, sounds good. So first thing, I'm pretty just far away from interview like the structure already. So trying to pick up my thoughts a few times. So I think what I could do better is about the first part, the analysis. I feel like there's limited like input to it. So it's like not so helpful for the later on solutions. So I think it could be more comprehensive. And also I feel like when I'm explaining things about the difference between different persona and between different pain points, I think I can make them more sharper. I can make them sharper, like more distinctive about why they're so important compared to others. And I think I want to be more specific around pain points. Um, yeah, I feel like they're kind of general and probably not tailored to Instacart. So that's something I want to do better as well. And probably provides like clear example when I'm talking about solutions. So I'll be able to addressing some of the questions or the confusions before you raising them. Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I think overall your self like feedback is pretty much like aligned with my feedback I'm going to share with you. But overall, I think you did great. You still have that structure, even though you said you are not like a super familiar and you're trying to like get back to the status you were in when you were interview. But overall, I think it's good. And also, I think the time management is like pretty good. Um, so I think we start actually from the 7-8, and currently when you are wrapping up your interval, it's like 7:35. So it's like literally in the time like frame. So I think that's good. And all you also you are reminding me to kind of like keep catch up with the timeline, which is a good in the real interval. Um, And next, I'm just gonna to go through together with you, like one by one, so can like share some of my opinions and feedbacks. Um, so I'm just looking into my notes. So the first part is basically um about the clarification part, right? I think you are correct. I would like to say because seems like you are not like super familiar with Instacart. So I guess if you can ask me more question about the actually what is the products, or even you can take like a 3 minutes to kind of like go through the product really quick, if you can. I think that's fine. Even though you're in a real interview, that's fine. And second one, going to the like overall like analysis. I don't see. I think to that part, I actually think you can probably skip that part, or you can just provide more like a deep insight around either the business or the like a really like very recent news. Because like lately, I think Instacart just like partnership with Costco to have the same day delivery. That's pretty much their advantage over other delivery service like Uber Eats or DoorDash, because the main reason people go to Instacart but not like a Uber Eats or like DoorDash at the very beginning is because they are basically like aggregator of all the wholesale and the groceries. So basically, let's say you're like a housewife. You want something from the Trader Joe's, you want something from Whole Foods, you want something from other like groceries. But like in the Instacart, you can just like gather all you want like in one shop. So basically, that is the biggest value of the Instacart, right? So I like to like listen to more about the like the holistic like a market standing or like a positioning, if you are going to that direction, because seems like you want to show your business sense in that part, right? um and that is about the like overarching analysis. And going towards to the persona, um I like you like category. So basically you have the saying you have the companies, you have the local business, you have the restaurant and the bars, and then you prioritize the companies. But if you can drill down into more specific roles, that would be great, because like a specific of a company, there's a couple of the roles might be like involved in this experience, right? Are you targeting to those like procurement officer? Are you talking about those like operation officer, or like are you talking even like talking about the executive assistant? Because we all know like a lot of times it's those like assistant executive assistant help us to book everything. So like which like a specific role are you talking about, and what's their specific pain point? I think that is the like rationale you are not like able to like drill down like be more details about the pain point, because you are not like a specific around the persona in the first very like a beginning, right? Um, and also like in this step, I think um actually, regarding to the like companies, we also have like a different types of the let's say like a scenario, because some people want to order snacks just like put into the cafe, and some like people want to order the food or the catering for some events, and then some people want to like order the pharmacy to basically just like provide some like a basic like life like essential in the companies. So like which kind of like a target are you like looking for? This can also help you to be more like a juicy and like increase that like a richness of your content in your interview, right? Um, so that is my feedback around the persona. Coming to the pain point, I actually think all of your pinpoint makes sense. You have the quality, you have the diversity, you have the customization. Um, so let's just skip that part. And then we have the solution. So coming to the solution, actually, I think overall, like I like your idea to like a through kind of like a progressing like innovative and like a feasible like solution, right? Seems like the more like uh the later like solution is more like a innovative, and the earlier one is more like a doable. I kind of like this like a dynamic and the progression, and like then you finally like prioritize and just do the first one. So, but like because I also ask you like couples of the follow-up question. So if you can, when you are like describing the solutions, if you can, let's say, just give me a scenario. You can just say, imagine that I'm the like procurement officer, and I will have this proactive like tracking system. How will I use it? This probably will like a better way to the listener to understand. I know you must have a very like a sophisticated, like a well-designed like a solution in your head, but when you're trying to like a pitch and sell your ideas, I like to say like the more simple it is, like the more easier to understand, especially your interview. You were like interviewing, right? Um, and second one, I like to say for the solution, um, for the solution, yeah, you are talking about how you prioritize a solution. You are saying that this is most like easy, this is like a low risk, this is something like that. So do you like still remember the goal why we want to like do this like a new feature or initiative is actually grow our business. So I
Yeah.
would say end of the day, like you should like tie back all of those like criteria, whether you are picking a solutions or pain point or persona to kind of like tie back to the overarching goal. Otherwise, any like a feature built on is just like a waste in terms of the the business perspective. So yeah, that's pretty much the feedback I have um for you today. But overall, it's very good like interview experience with you. Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate the feedback. I think they're really detailed, and I think I definitely resonate with everything of that. And I think overall, I totally agree that if I can be more specific, and then it shows like the deeper analysis, and like it makes the content like more engaging. So yeah, definitely. I think all of that I totally agree. And yeah, thanks for the feedback.
Thank you. Bye.